top 10 endangered animals in the world. Hello, curious minds from around the globe. Welcome back to Don't Call Me Chicken. Have you ever wondered which creatures walk the thinnest line between existence and oblivion? Or how many species we could lose before we even discover them? How does it make you feel to think that your children, or their children, might never have the chance to witness the sheer beauty and diversity of life that we enjoy today? In this video, we're diving deep into the heart of our planet's most pressing issue, the plight of endangered animals. But first, don't forget to leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, and click the notification bell to stay updated on our upcoming videos. Are you ready? Let's begin! 10. Elephants. Elephants, the largest land mammals on Earth, face a grave threat of extinction. 3 species exist: African bush elephants, African forest elephants, and Asian elephants. In the 1930s, an estimated 10 million wild elephants roamed Africa. Today, their populations have drastically declined due to multiple critical threats, including habitat loss, illegal poaching, and human-elephant conflicts. As of now, there are approximately 415,000 African elephants left in the world, and only around 40,000 to 50,000 Asian elephants remain. African elephants have lost over 50% of their habitat since 1979. Asian elephants have only 15% of their original range left. Human expansion, infrastructure development, and agriculture encroach upon their territories. The illegal ivory trade has devastated elephant populations. Although a ban on international ivory trade was imposed in 1989, poaching resurged around 2010, driven by high demand for ivory products. African bush elephants are classified as endangered, and the African forest elephant is critically endangered. The latter's population is notably small, primarily concentrated in Gabon and the Republic of Congo, with smaller groups in Cameroon, Liberia, and Ghana. Asian elephants primarily inhabit dry to wet forests and grasslands across 13 countries in South and Southeast Asia. To protect these magnificent creatures from the brink of extinction, concerted efforts are needed to combat poaching, preserve their habitats, and mitigate human-elephant conflicts. 9. Rhinoceros. At one time, rhinoceroses freely roamed vast regions across Europe, Asia, and Africa, and their presence was acknowledged by early Europeans who immortalized them in cave paintings. As the 20th century dawned, a thriving population of 500,000 rhinos could be found across the continents of Africa and Asia. However, by the year 1970, their numbers had dwindled drastically, plummeting to a mere 70,000 individuals. Regrettably, today, only approximately 27,000 rhinos persist in their natural habitats. The vast majority of these magnificent creatures can now only be found within the boundaries of national parks and reserves, as relentless poaching and habitat destruction have taken a heavy toll over the course of many decades. Among the rhino species, 3 of them, the black rhino, Javan rhino, and Sumatran rhino, are teetering on the brink of extinction. In our current era, a small population of Javan rhinos is confined to a solitary national park situated on the northern tip of the Indonesian island of Java. A mainland subspecies of the Javan rhino was declared extinct in Vietnam in 2011. Fortunately, concerted conservation efforts have resulted in a notable increase in the population of greater one-horned rhinos, which has grown from a mere 200 individuals at the turn of the 20th century to approximately 3,700 today. The transformation of the greater one-horned rhino's status from endangered to vulnerable represents a remarkable success story in Asia. Nevertheless, the species continues to face threats from poaching for its valuable horn and from the ongoing loss and degradation of its habitat. In Africa, there have been both successes and tragedies in the rhino conservation story. Southern white rhinos, once feared to be extinct, have made a remarkable recovery in protected sanctuaries and are now classified as near threatened. However, the western black rhino and northern white rhino have sadly become extinct in the wild. The last surviving 2 northern white rhinos are kept under constant guard at the Ol Pejeta Conservancy in Kenya. While there has been a doubling in the number of black rhinos over the past 2 decades, rising from a low point of fewer than 2,500 individuals. Their total population remains a fraction of the estimated 100,000 that existed in the early 20th century. 8. Sea turtles. Did you know that sea turtles have been inhabitants of planet Earth since the time of the dinosaurs, dating back approximately 110 million years? There are 7 distinct species of sea turtles, with 6 of them the green, hawksbill, Kemp's ridley, leatherback, loggerhead, and olive ridley inhabiting oceans across both warm and cool waters. The 7th species, the flatback, exclusively resides in Australia. There are approximately 6.5 million sea turtles estimated to be left in the wild, although determining an exact count is incredibly challenging. Most sea turtle species are categorized as endangered or critically endangered, and the remaining population varies significantly among species. For instance, the critically endangered hawksbill turtles may have as few as 57,000 individuals left worldwide. Kemp's ridley, also classified as critically endangered due to climate change and human activities, has as few as 10,000 individuals remaining. An interesting development occurred during the COVID-19 pandemic. In the year before the pandemic, nearly 400,000 sea turtle nests were recorded along Florida's coastline during nesting season. Typically, only about 1 in every 1,000 hatchlings survives, and the mortality rate on popular tourist beaches is even higher. However, in 2020, marine researchers in Florida discovered that COVID-19 restrictions, which kept humans and harmful waste off the beaches, had a positive impact on endangered leatherback sea turtles in the state. What's truly remarkable about sea turtles is their instinctual journey back to the very nesting grounds where they hatched, after years of traversing the vast open ocean. Some species undertake journeys of over 1,000 miles from their nesting sites to their feeding grounds. However, life presents numerous perils for sea turtles, especially the vulnerable hatchlings. On the shore, a range of predators, including birds, crabs, raccoons, and even foxes, eagerly await the opportunity to prey on these newly hatched turtles. Even once they reach the ocean, hatchlings remain enticing snacks for seabirds and fish. Yet, the most significant threats to sea turtles come from human activities rather than natural predators. Accidental capture in commercial fisheries or entanglement in marine debris pose grave dangers to sea turtles. Additionally, the destruction of their beach habitats, illegal harvesting, and poaching for meat and eggs, along with the risk of collisions with boats, constitute substantial human-induced risks to these remarkable creatures. Do you think awareness campaigns like this video can make a significant difference in the fight against species extinction? Tell us in the comments. 7. Yangtze Finless Porpoise. The Yangtze River's Finless porpoise is one of the very few freshwater porpoises, close relatives of dolphins and whales. Its small size and charming smile have endeared it to people in China and beyond. However, we must take action to prevent it from suffering the same fate as the functionally extinct Yangtze River dolphin, also known as the baiji. After experiencing years of rapid decline, the latest census reveals that the population of the critically endangered Yangtze finless porpoise has remained relatively stable in recent years. It has slightly decreased from 1,040 individuals in 2012 to 1,012. These porpoises face similar threats to those that the baiji once encountered, including the loss of their food sources and collisions with boats. The Yangtze finless porpoise inhabits the main channel of the Yangtze River in central and eastern China, as well as 2 lakes, Dongting and Poyang, which are naturally connected to the river. Porpoises play a crucial role in maintaining the health of their environment by preying on fish and other river creatures. Without their presence, these species could proliferate and disrupt the local food chain. Furthermore, porpoises serve as reliable indicators of their environment's health. If the river is overfished or polluted, the porpoise population struggles to survive. By protecting these porpoises, we are also preserving the health of rivers and lakes, which countless people depend on for food, clean water, and their livelihoods. 6. Orangutan. There exist 3 distinct species of orangutans: the Bornean orangutan, the Sumatran orangutan, and the Tapanuli orangutan. According to recent assessments of population and habitat viability, The estimated numbers of these species remaining in the wild are approximately 57,000 for Bornean orangutans, 13,000 for Sumatran orangutans, and 800 for Tupanuli orangutans. Currently, orangutans are categorized as critically endangered on the IUCN Red List of Threatened Species. The primary driver of deforestation in their rainforest habitats is the expansion of palm oil plantations, an exceedingly profitable crop. Alarmingly, it is believed that palm oil is present in about 10% of all supermarket products. Orangutans serve as pivotal contributors to the equilibrium of the rainforest ecosystem, playing a vital role in seed dispersal. The seeds from the ripe fruits they consume have evolved to endure passage through the digestive system of orangutans. Consequently, these seeds are excreted in small fecal piles, facilitating their germination and growth. Additionally, orangutans assist in creating openings in the forest canopy by breaking off branches, allowing light to penetrate the forest floor. This, in turn, aids in the natural regeneration of the forest. Their principal threat, however, stems from the loss of their natural habitat due to deforestation driven by human activities, particularly for the cultivation of palm oil. 5. Sumatran tiger. Also recognized as Sunda tigers, Sumatran tigers were once widespread across Indonesia's Sunda Islands. However, this critically endangered subspecies of tiger now faces a population crisis, with only an estimated 400 to 500 individuals remaining. These tigers are now confined exclusively to the forests of Sumatra, a large island in western Indonesia. Sumatra is the sole place on Earth where tigers, rhinos, orangutans, and elephants coexist in the wild, making it a unique and vital biodiversity hotspot. However, the continued loss of their habitat and rampant poaching threaten not only the survival of Sumatran tigers but also the delicate balance of biodiversity in the region. Despite much of their remaining range being within protected tiger conservation landscapes and national parks, the global population of Sumatran tigers is believed to be decreasing at an alarming rate, ranging from 3.2% to 5.9% annually. In addition to human-wildlife conflicts, Sumatran tigers are primarily imperiled by the illegal wildlife trade and habitat destruction. Poaching poses a significant threat to Sumatran tigers, as they are hunted illegally for their whiskers, teeth, bones, and claws. These body parts are highly sought after for use in traditional Chinese medicine, as well as for ornamental jewelry and souvenirs. Despite increased conservation efforts and the ban on trade under the Convention on International Trade in Endangered Species (CITES), Sumatran tigers continue to fall victim to poaching. To address this crisis, Bukit Barisan Selatan National Park in Sumatra, Indonesia, has allocated a 386 square mile forest block to assess the primary threats facing Sumatran tigers. Researchers have noted that the estimated tiger density in this area is 2.8 tigers per 38 square miles, supported by a rich prey base. Unfortunately, the park has also observed a high number of illegal entries, with 20% of incidents involving armed poachers who operate predominantly at night to evade daytime law enforcement patrols. Have you ever encountered any of these endangered animals in the wild or in captivity? Share your experiences in the comments. If you like this video, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel please. 4. Gorilla. There are two species of gorillas, the eastern gorilla and the western gorilla, each comprising two subspecies. Alarmingly, 3 out of the 4 subspecies are currently classified as critically endangered on the IUCN Red List of Threatened Species. The sole exception to this dire status is the mountain gorilla, a subspecies of the eastern gorilla, which is labeled as endangered. Astonishingly, only a dwindling population of around 200 to 300 adult cross-river gorillas remains in their natural habitat. Like many endangered animals, their precipitous decline is primarily attributable to poaching, habitat destruction, diseases, and conflicts with humans. Gorillas face a challenging recovery due to their slow reproductive rate, with females giving birth only every 4 to 6 years, and typically breeding 3 or 4 times in their lifetime. The cross-river gorilla, a subspecies of the western gorilla, is currently the most endangered great ape in Africa, with an estimated 200 to 300 individuals surviving in the wild. They inhabit the mountainous border region between Cameroon and Nigeria, primarily near the upper reaches of the Cross River, from which they derive their name. The entire population is dispersed across an area of approximately 3,000 square miles, roughly double the size of Rhode Island. Historically, these gorillas suffered extensive hunting, resulting in a remaining population that is skittish and tends to avoid human contact. Sightings of them in the wild are exceedingly rare. The small size of the surviving Cross River gorilla population translates into limited genetic diversity, rendering them less resilient against diseases and susceptible to inbreeding, which can hinder successful reproduction. The remaining Cross River gorillas face ongoing threats as their habitat continues to be eroded due to deforestation. Despite being a protected species, the problem of hunting for bushmeat persists, with an estimated 1 to 3 Cross River gorillas falling victim to poachers each year. Conservation programs in Nigeria and Cameroon are diligently working to avert the extinction of this gentle giant. Their efforts are concentrated on garnering local community support for the protection of this species and implementing landscape-scale habitat conservation. This involves maintaining and restoring forests, corridors, to connect the primary sanctuaries and national parks where these gorillas reside. 3. Saola. The Saola, a remarkable and enigmatic creature often referred to as the Asian unicorn, stands as one of the most critically endangered species on the brink of extinction. This elusive mammal was first scientifically documented in 1992 in the dense forests of the Annamite Range in Vietnam. Since its discovery, the Saola has remained a cryptic figure, rarely seen in the wild. The gravity of its endangered status is underscored by its classification as critically endangered on the IUCN Red List of Threatened Species. Unfortunately, precise population numbers remain uncertain, but estimates suggest that there are fewer than 100 of these creatures left in the world, a stark reminder of its perilous situation. One of the most astonishing and distressing facts about the Saola is that, despite decades of efforts, there have been no confirmed sightings by biologists in its natural habitat since its scientific identification. Instead, much of our knowledge about this species is derived from local accounts, limited observations of individuals in captivity, and a scant collection of camera trap photographs. As a result, the Saola remains one of the least known large mammals on our planet. The Saola's range is confined to the lush, evergreen forests of the Annamite Mountains in Laos and Vietnam, making it a unique and irreplaceable component of this ecosystem. It is a creature found nowhere else on Earth, and this exclusivity amplifies the urgency of its conservation. 2. Amur Leopard. As of January 2023, it is estimated that there are approximately 100 to 110 Amur leopards remaining in their natural habitat. This marks a slight increase from the estimated 96 individuals in 2022. This rise in population numbers can be attributed to several factors, including intensified conservation efforts and a reduction in poaching. Nevertheless, the Amur leopard remains in an extremely perilous state, classified as critically endangered and facing a looming threat of extinction. It is imperative to emphasize that the Amur leopard remains critically endangered, with the looming specter of extinction. The principal threats to these majestic creatures persist, including habitat loss, poaching, and conflicts with humans. Efforts to safeguard the Amur leopard are underway, including captive breeding programs. Captive breeding programs play a pivotal role in bolstering the Amur leopard population. In these programs, leopards are bred within controlled environments such as zoos and other facilities. Their offspring are subsequently released into the wild, contributing to population augmentation. Habitat protection. Conservationists are actively engaged in safeguarding the Amur leopard's natural habitat. Collaborative efforts with governments are focused on establishing protected areas and mitigating human-leopard conflicts. The Amur leopard's unique adaptation to the colder climates of its habitat sets it apart from other leopard subspecies. The majority of Amur leopards are concentrated in southwest Primorye, located in the Russian Far East, with a smaller population residing across the border in China. There have been unconfirmed reports of sightings in North Korea. What innovative solutions or technologies do you think could help protect these endangered species and their habitats? Write it in the comments. 1. Vaquitas. Vaquitas, the smallest of all cetacean species, are on the brink of extinction. These timid marine mammals are exclusively found in Mexico's Gulf of California. With only 10 individuals remaining in the wild, vaquitas are critically endangered due to rampant and unregulated gill net fishing within their habitat. This outdated fishing technique has caused a devastating 94% population decline between 1997 and 2016. Their small population size and limited geographic range make vaquitas highly vulnerable to entanglement in gill nets, which are set just below the water's surface and span several kilometers. Despite being listed as vulnerable on the IUCN Red List in 1986 and later elevated to critically endangered, the threats to vaquitas persist. The primary menace to vaquitas comes from the fishing industry's unregulated use of gill nets, which are designed to ensnare shrimp and the critically endangered totorba, another species endemic to the region. The demand for totorba swim bladders, considered a delicacy and a source of healing properties in China, has created a black market trade, further endangering vaquitas. Efforts to protect vaquitas face additional challenges, such as the ineffective enforcement of legislation and the absence of robust regulatory measures. Despite international awareness, vaquitas remain at grave risk of extinction due to these multifaceted threats. Thank you so much for joining us on this journey through the world of our planet's most endangered animals. See you in the next video.